Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, student. How are you today? Good. I'm glad to hear about you. Now, I can see you again in English 3. And today's topic is about sentence and clause, the first topic. And secondly, we are discussing about adjective and adverb clause. Okay, students, let's keep going. Sentences. Everybody, I know that sentences, I think everyone know what is that. A sentence is a group of words that make complete sense. In sentence usually contain subject, there is a main verb and begin with the capital letter. Okay, good. When you are writing sentence, the sentences are used. The first one is to make statement. When you say something with your sentence, the first is to make statement. For example, I took care patient in medical ward in the last shift. So this is statement. Okay. And secondly, the nursing library stay open until 9 p.m. Okay, I think it is clear. Okay, good. The second sentence is used to ask question or make requests. For instance, can I help you, sir? Okay, if you meet with your patient, for example, in the hospital or in the ward, can I help you, sir? Okay, can I help you, ma'am? Okay, good. And then, could you open the door, nurse? Okay, this is something request to the nurse. Could you open the door? Okay. And the third is to give order. Okay, sentence is to give order. For example, stop arguing. And then, come here at once. Or giving order. Come here at once. And number 4, when you are writing the sentence, is to express exclamation. For example, you are driving too fast, mate. You are driving too fast, mate. Okay, express it. Okay, it is so cold in this ward. Okay, it is so cold in this ward. Okay, student, this is about the sentence. So what kind of sentence that you are studying today is about a simple sentence. Simple sentence normally contain one statement. So it is called a main clause. Okay. Here is the example. Number 1. The ambulance should be here soon. Okay. Number 2. His father worked as a nursing teacher. And the third, John wanted a new digital thermometer. Okay. Those sentences are contain one sentence. Okay. Yes. One sentence. One statement. Okay. For independent study, don't forget you have to write 3 simple sentences. Okay, as a learning activity. Okay. What is the second? Compound sentence. Okay, compound sentence contains 2 or more clauses of equal status which are normally joined by a conjunction such as but or and. Okay, yes, for example, John became bored with caring and he looked for a new career, for example. Okay, so We use conjunction and because the first sentence and the second sentence is similar. Okay, equal. This is very different with number 2. I would go for a walk to hospital. The conjunction that we have to use is but. It is running outside. But conjunction describe about the something contraordinary. Okay, yes, something this is on the other hand, for example. Okay, yes, you can write down 2 common sentence over here. Complex sentence has a main clause and one or more adverbial clause. Adverb clause usually come after the main clause. Okay, in the first sentence usually a main clause, but it is not always. Okay, be careful, this is just usually, not always. Yes, sometimes adverbial clause it can be in the first one and there is a conjunction and then main clause, but usually yes, okay, main clause come in the first. Okay, yes, for example, her father died when she was very young. Okay, so the main clause is her father died. When here is subordinating conjunction. She was very young. This is adverbial clause. Okay, adverbial clause. Okay, and then what is clause? Clause is the basic unit of grammar. It is a group of words that contain a verb. A clause may form part of a sentence. It might be a complete sentence in itself. For example, I have eaten. The sale starts at 9 a.m. Okay, this is about clause. Okay, if you know clause, this is the basic in grammar. Okay, so you have to understand about the clause. What is the main clause? Main clause. Every sentence contains at least one main clause. Okay, yes. A main clause may form part of a compound sentence or complex sentence, but also makes sense on its own, as in this example. Main clause. He was eating a bacon sandwich. Okay, and we can have 2 main clause with a conjunction. Okay, I love sport, but I am captain and I am captain of football team. Okay, there is conjunction and. Okay, because it's equal. Yes, all right. So don't forget, would you please to write 2 main clause sentences. Okay, so if you do it by yourself, you can improve your writing skill. Subordinate clause. Subordinate clause depend on the main clause for its meaning. So together with the main clause, subordinate clause is part of complex sentence. Okay, for example, the subordinate clause come in the first and then followed by the main clause. After we had lunch, we went back to work. Okay, yes, and then you have to analyze. Okay, if the first sentence is subordinate clause, so there is comma between that sentence. Okay, there is comma. But okay, if there is main clause come in the first one, so there is a comma with the conjunction. Okay, like in the number 2. I first saw her in Bali, where I live in the early 19th. Okay, this is a conjunction with the comma. Okay, what next is adjective clause. Adjective clause modify noun and pronoun. Okay, noun. Adjective clause nearly always appear immediately following the noun or pronoun. Okay, To test for the adjective clause, there are a couple of questions that you can ask. Okay, which one and what kind? Most adjective clause begin with who or whom. This is pronoun. Which and that. This is noun. Okay. Sometimes the word might be understood. Look at this example here. The word that and who, for example, may not specifically be in that sentence, but they could be implied. For example, the nursing book. The nursing book is noun, so we use that. Okay, the nursing book noun, we use that. The nursing book that is on the floor should be returned to the library. Okay, all right. How to use who in the second example? Nursing student. This is about people, person. So you have to use who. Intelligence, get a good mark. Okay, yes. Don't forget, you have to write two sentences, adjective, okay, clause, by yourself, okay, at home, do by yourself, and then you have to analyze what kind of adjective, okay, clause that you have to write. And then there is an adverb clause. Adverb clause usually modify a verb, in which case they might appear anywhere in a sentence. They tell why, where, under what condition, or to what degree the action occurred or situation existed. Unlike adjective clause, they are frequently movable within the sentence. Let's have a look here. Number 1. When the timer rings, we know the cake is done. Okay? There is a comma in the first sentence. Okay? When the timer rings, comma, we know the cake is done. If we delete the comma, we have to combine together. Okay? So there is a conjunction between one sentence and the second sentence. Okay, don't forget. The first sentence, we know the cake is done, and then there is a conjunction, okay, between the first sentence and the second sentence. And then when the timer rings. Okay, I think all of you easy, okay, to understand this topic. Okay, adverbial clause. Okay, if there is a conjunction in front of that sentence, okay, in the beginning, so there is a comma for that. When the conjunction, you have to put in the middle of the sentence, between the first sentence and the second sentence, so there is a comma. Okay, there is no comma if with the conjunction in the middle, but when conjunction in the first, so there is a comma. Okay, all right. Okay, student, in this subject we have one credit point as a practical. Okay, you can do the listening practice to fill in comparative adjective listening practice here. You can download the software for the listening practice from the Google Classroom. Okay, download it, and then you play and listen. While you listen, okay, you have to complete each sentence or question with an adjective in the comparative form as you listen. Okay, don't forget, for the listening practice 1, there is a 10 question. You have to identify about the adjective. Okay, and listening practice 2, okay, you are listening about the adverb. Okay, the material is available in the Google Classroom. You can download it and then play and listen. After that, you have to fill this missing word. Okay, while you listen. Okay, you can listen more than once time until you get the answer. Okay, try to get the answer by yourself. Don't ask your friends. Okay, this is for independent learning activity for the listening practice. Okay, we have 10 questions. Okay, student, in conclusion, okay, independent study activities, you have to write 4 sentences to describe statement, asking question, give order, and to express exclamation for learning at home. Okay, I wish that all of you understand what I'm saying, that I already explained about that topic. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you very much. Let's close our studying by saying Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Okay, student, thank you. I can see you again next week. Wabillahi taufiq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.